we are back live real quick. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully so. Everything look good? We're back. Tornado possible. I don't know if it's not confirmed yet, but it's looking really, really good. Headed my way. I'm trying to beat it over near Hamilton, Alabama. It's kind of a tornado hotspot right here, so just FYI. We are absolutely flying to try to get there. I swear, if a deer were to jump out in front of me right now, it would probably be vaporized. Tornado, if not on the ground right now, it will be shortly, just to the east of Tupelo, Mississippi, dropping south right now to be able to get there. And I mean, absolutely flying, guys. We're getting there. This is my backyard. dirt road or something like that. Can't wait for this. This ought to be fun. Y'all say a prayer that my car doesn't get stuck on this road. 6 miles on a county road? Damn it. Just pray to God that this doesn't turn into dirt. Always does this. Always. Never fails. Well, this is not a dirt road yet. Well, it sends me in weird spots. Oh, do we have paved roads? No, we do not. Let's see how good it is. Sure as hell would be nice to be on Highway 24. Seeing your messages, I just can't respond. Thank you for letting me know. probably make like a highlight film of me freaking out every time whenever a lightning strike happens. Big old turn. On the street. Where in the heck is this thing taking me? Oh, this looks great. Kind of creepy out there. I don't know why. So you want to chase Dixie, huh? Here you go. Taking a Larry. Yeah, at least it's paved. Thanks again. Yeah, most of the time Google Maps takes me down dirt roads. Those are always fun. Especially when there's no warning that it's turning from paved to dirt. Those are great. I love when that happens. I'm almost wondering. Trying to do it for thing. So there's tornado warning in Alabama. We'll be there in 2 seconds. There's no east to west route. No, that's the main. So we got one real shot at this. Y'all ever heard of a little town called Hackleburg? Maybe you've heard of it before? Actually, you know what? We are going to go to Hackleburg. Because of that, okay, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We are going to go to Hackleburg. Hey Ryan, it's Brad. Let me know when you got a second.
Go ahead, Brad.
Oh, geez, that didn't sound good. Ryan, we're going to intercept this possible tornado in a town that some folks that are watching your show may know. It's a little town called Hackleburg that was leveled by an EF5 tornado about 15 years ago or so. Hey.
Hey.
What's up?
Just going to tell you that Adeline's mother, Heather, admitted that your picture is in her bedroom. So I was just going to tell you, I'm impressed that you're was it teenage storm chaser, heartthrob?
Let me call you back in just a second. I'm on that tornado that just entered in Alabama.
Okay.
I'll call you right back. Bye. Alright guys, I actually know this area very well. I'll help clean up after that.
Right here, it's going to be moving towards Pine Grove. Come on, Brad.
Ryan, we're going to intercept this possible tornado in a town that some folks that are watching the show may know. It's a town called Hackleburg. Level 5 EF5 tornado about 15 years ago.
So Brad's on that storm in Mississippi that we've been watching. So we're going to keep up with him, put the camera up. 5 gifted. Denise, thanks for the 5 gift. The tornado warning for Hackleburg. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning also in effect for Hamilton and Vernon. And then the storm that is producing a tornado warning on Starkville will also eventually head over towards portions of Alabama as well. Here's a storm coming into Starkville. This is Starkville right now on the Firefield. Mississippi Department of Transportation camera in Starkville as our considerable severe thunderstorm with potential tornadoes coming through right now. So conditions are going to continue to deteriorate in the Mississippi State University area, Country Club subdivision, over towards Sessoms.
Hey Ryan, I think we've had a tornado trying to form that is just to my west, and it's actually north of the main circulation, north of the main warning, just south of Red Bank. South of Red Bank.
Alright, so that was storm. I mean, this is it right here. We've also got a view of it from a little bit farther to the east and a little bit farther to the west. So this is what's happening right now in Starkville. Considerable severe thunderstorm blows through the area. I've seen that comment a couple of times, so I'm inclined to believe it. Yeah, you are under a tornado warning in Starkville and Artesia, all of Lowndes and Otibiha. Yeah, so basically what you're seeing here, the strong winds that are coming through Starkville right now, is pretty much what you can expect in the next little bit. Hackleburg, Alabama, for example. Maybe even down here a little bit farther to the south near Crawford and Brooksville and Columbus, Mississippi and Caledonia.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Storm looks like. Here's a new. Now this one includes Red Bay, Russellville, and Phil Candle. This is the storm that Brad Arnold was talking about. This is the one near Red Bay, that other area of rotation that he was pointing out to us right here near Vina. So now we've got a new tornado warning that's going to last for the next 33 minutes.
all the power in Hodges, Alabama, just went through it. All of it just went out right when I was going through a major power flash back there. So that's likely driven by wind. That's not a tornado, but just want to let you know we got that power out. Concern. One is just, I mean, they're right by each other, near just southeast of Red Bank. They're both tornado warned. So they're folks will know where we're at now. this area right here was completely demolished by a EF5 tornado back on April 27, 2011. City of Hackleburg. One of the strongest tornadoes.
US 43
One of the worst tragedies of that day. There were so many fatalities. Just a second, you'll see the Wrangler Jeans distribution center up here that was completely flattened and torn apart. They rebuilt it though. But this right here, this was the path. We're driving through it. This was tornado that day. Notice it's really dark right here, not many lights and stuff. Everything's a big deal. A lot of driveways that still leave slabs. There's the Wrangler plant. I'm out in the middle of nowhere right now. That's probably why I don't have any cell service at all. So right there. Tornado siren should be going off in the city of Russellville right now. I don't hear anything, but I also don't have my windows rolled down. Alright, 4-lane highway. just south of Russellville right now, coming into the city about 2 miles. Got nothing right now, but really good lighting show though. I have not seen any kind of lowerings or funnel clouds or right now yet. Power flag. What the heck was that? Some object in my car. I don't know what that was. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Complete whiteout condition. You can't see a dadgum thing. We're way on the highway. The highway. Extremely strong wind though. That's good. East-west highway right there. Sunday drive. Where is that? with 720p. Do 1,000 and 720p, and it's not going out. Starlink should do it by going on. I'll call you when I'm done, but I'm pissed, man. Because Ryan's trying to pull my stream. I'm in the middle of a fucking tornado warning. Nobody else is out here, and I can't get it to go through. But when I put my phone hotspot on, like $10 a month, it's going through. This is going to take us all the way to Hudson. I'm gonna fucking...
this, the threats are going to dwindle a little bit the farther east the storms go, but I think they can still have a decent, straight line damage wind in there in Chattanooga tonight. So get ready for some severe weather, but I don't think it's going to be quite as intense as what you deal with farther west. The greatest severe risk for the next few hours is going to be Huntsville all the way back down towards northeast Louisiana. So a lot of central and western Alabama and extreme southeastern Mississippi.
Bullshit, man.
yeah, once again, for all of my, friends and people who are asking about the situation, Pikeville, Reliance Force is an important big river from Pikeville to Christiansburg. It's a place that I've been evacuated by the whole there. I was leaving.
Coming for you right now in Athens. You'll start to hear that wind picking up and howling. A lot of thunder and lightning along with the threat for torrential rainfall too. This line continues to move west to east at about 55 to 60 miles per hour. And a huge concentration of lightning right now as we move into central and southern Lawrence County. This is heading toward you in Speak too. So right along Alabama 33 and 36, and then eventually this will push toward you in Falkville, Hartselle, and Priceville, along with the Somerville area. So that is warned just for a severe thunderstorm warning. We're seeing more of the areas of rotation potentially. That's going to be east of the Anderson area toward Rogersville and to the east right now between Leicester and heading toward you in Elkmont. Jeff?
Yeah, Eric, I try to pull up the degree corrosion coefficient, right? Get a little fancy with my words. But this is that area you're talking about. And maybe like in the Coxon area or Anderson area, maybe seeing a little bit in the way of some rotation. It's so hard to see with these because of the setup that we have. But this area right in here, east of Rogersville and the Coxon and Mount Roselle, would be an area where I'd be taking cover right now. Over towards Elkmont and Athens, especially if you're in northwest Athens right now, now would be the time to start to take necessary precautions to get into your safe place. Ardmore Twins and even up towards Elkton now. So parts of Tennessee, we talked about the Pulaski area, the northern fringe of where some of the stronger cells are right now. And that's where you have a severe thunderstorm warning at this time as we continue to track this wall of rain and wind like this. This extends all the way down to Trinity, Decatur. It's on your doorstep right now. If you're in western Decatur, you got some heavy rain coming your way. And right now, these winds are picking up. And I imagine it's very windy. In fact, I have not looked at one of the web cameras yet. I imagine
Decatur right now.
We're going to start to see that camera be shaking very soon as the line continues to go all the way down to Bolton, Speed, and Grayson. Heavy rainfall, gusty wind. No tornado warnings on the south flank of this. but we are tracking those tornado warnings up to the north, and it does include the city of Decatur, it includes the city of Athens. Again, reset the pause button here if you are using. Haven't had anything yet. Still headed your way. Tracking these all the way to 4 o'clock in the morning. That's when they'll cross the Georgia state line. Whether they maintain their strength or not, I wouldn't bet against them right now because they've been holding their own through Alabama and Tennessee for the last hour and a half. So I would imagine as we go east, remember, a tornado watch remains in effect until 4 a.m. And we are still tracking that potential all the way to Jackson and DeKalb County going to tonight. The highest concentration of severe weather now is almost parallel I-65 and will continue to move across I-65 here shortly. Eric?
Yeah, and getting reports now up to 3,300 people without power in Lauderdale County. That from Lauderdale County EMA. Still tracking these active warnings. And this is just an incredible line of wind moving in. Of course, that 60 plus miles per hour. We've been talking about that. This is heading towards you in Elkmont. This is going to move through Athens. Athens, think back not too long ago. You know how fast these things can ramp up very, very quickly and produce that quick spin-up tornado. But now this is parts of Limestone County there, including you in Athens, along Elkmont, Alabama, 127 on the southern side of things, north and east of you in Hillsborough, kind of where we get that intersection of Lawrence County, Morgan County, Limestone County, right along the Tennessee River too. I've been keeping an eye on our cameras. I haven't seen anything other than darkness, heavy rain, and quite a bit of lightning too. Trinity, very noisy, moving through you right now, and quickly heading toward you in Decatur, and then eventually entering the Mooresville area, and then we start talking about parts of Madison County. Spend a couple minutes so we can just give you that extended storm track, including our middle Tennessee counties, and I'll even include you guys in southern parts of Morgan County here. That's still just moving at that 55 to 60 miles per hour. We'll do this including the Huntsville metro area. So Athens right now, this is on top of you or knocking on your door if you're in western Athens in particular. Decatur 1203, Ardmore 1206, that's on both sides of the state line. Harvest 1211, Madison now pushing quarter after midnight. Providence 1216, Fayetteville 1222, Huntsville right now 1222, Lacey Spring as well as Newmarket closer to 1230. A lot of wind with this, probably 60 plus mile per hour winds. They're still tracking those ongoing tornado warnings. I believe they go until midnight, if not 12:15. So we're going to see what they're going to do in a second regarding these severe thunderstorm warnings. Are they extended farther east, or do they keep those tornado warnings going? Jeff?
Yeah, I'm going to kind of zoom in on the Elkmont area because I do think that you are getting pummeled right now with some heavy rain and gusty winds. That extends north across the state line. If you're in Elkton, Tennessee, it's coming your way. Piney Chapel, some heavy rain for you and gusty winds. And now we're starting to get into the Athens area. And I just checked the camera in Athens, and like Eric said, it's dark and it's really hard to see. It's just the rainfall coming down.
Yeah,
because it
across
looks
the
like there's
Tennessee
really
River right now,
a lot of wind in
Decatur.
the camera site.
I know
But
there
would
might be a lot of
imagine if
people
you were
from Alabama that are
northwest
watching the
Athens,
stream.
even in the northeast Athens now, that wind and heavy rainfall now picking up. And I would imagine that noise that you hear means that the warning for the tornado warning has been extended to the east. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the home button, and I want to show you, because I imagine now includes Huntsville. There you go. So that noise that you heard means that here in-house, your tornado warning just went off because it now has been extended. And this is the same area that we've been watching and tracking. Eric was all over it just now, talking about the Athens area, taking cover here. And now that warning extends not just into the Huntsville area in northern Madison County, which includes Hazel Green, Tony, Harvest, Newmarket. But now if you're in Aurora or if you're in Park City, up into Fayetteville, now we're getting our Tennessee viewers involved. And this is where the tornado warning is now. And again, the line is still back along I-65. This is giving you ample time to prepare in these locations for any kind of spin-up tornado that takes place, and you get yourself to your safe space. The line continues south, even in Decatur now. I imagine you got some very strong winds right now. If you're driving on the belt line right now, if you're driving on 67, headed out towards Priceville, getting 65. We don't want you driving. We want you in your safe space right now. And that continues all the way to the south. We're just west of Hartsville right now. Bolton, kind of on the backside of this. So you're seeing the strongest winds and heaviest rainfall, strongest winds and heaviest rainfall.
Mention that includes northern Limestone County and also parts of Madison County.
Possibility.
cloud has been reported by spotters. This is near Elkmont in Limestone County. That was kind of that area between the red and the green that I was showing you. You kind of see it right along Alabama 127 here. So this is going to be in this vicinity. So if you are in R1, please, this is go to your safe spot now and seek shelter, as well as to the Madison Crossroads out to Harvest too. So this is going to be moving east of 127 and cross over Interstate 65. Eventually starts on to about 53 here as it goes into that sliver of Limestone County and far northwest Madison County. So we might have something developing here. It'll be interesting to see what that shear tool has, but that funnel cloud is reported by storm spotters, and that's the reason for that extension of that tornado warning. That tornado warning now goes until 12:45 a.m. This is a fast-moving line of storms, potential areas of rotation. We've been keeping a close eye on that Elkmont area. Elkmont, you have to be in your safe spot, as well as you in Ardmore, out to Madison Crossroads and Harvest. Anyone, and even if you're in the Athens area too, then definitely seek shelter with this. Avoid windows. We could have some debris. A lot of people are losing power. I believe over 5,000 now in parts of Lauderdale County. Very strong winds about to move through the Athens metro area. And then, of course, we've got you in Trinity, Decatur, out to
Hey Ryan, I'm getting reports from my local affiliate that we've got a funnel cloud reported near Elkmont, Alabama, headed towards Ardmore, Alabama, Tennessee area, right on the state line right there. Heads up. I'm just about in the city of Huntsville right now.
talking about, and that is usually an indication that we do have areas of rotation. So I know you're nice and zoomed in there, Jeff. Go ahead and take over.
I wanted to make sure I try to get down to street level because I think this is very important. And we have a confirmation that there was a funnel cloud, right? And Eric and I were watching this moving across the Elkmont area, and most of the activity is now east. So this is Pettisville Road, and this is Sandlin Road for reference. If you're at either location, now's the time to get to your safe spot. This is Clem Road and Hope Road here. Oak Grove Road is here. I know this area very well. I have driven out here because I think it's so beautiful. But right now it's an area that you need to take cover and be inside your safe place. As this system continues to move east, it's bringing out these little embedded tornadoes that are within the line. We can't confirm anything yet, but we do have confirmation of at least a funnel now. And we know that there's a potential here that could reach the ground. And we know by looking at the radar and the shear rate and the tools that we have to keep you safe at home that this has the potential to drop a tornado, and it would be in the Elkmont area just to the east. Now, the line continues to move east, now closer to Clem Road. You saw it right there, Hope Road just into the east. And this line continues off to the south. Now, as you work your way south from Piney Chapel, you still have the potential for possibly a little rotation in the Piney Chapel area. This is not a that's Looney Road right there. This is all moving west to east. If you continue to track it to the south, it doesn't quite have the same dynamics in the Athens area, an area that was hit back in December with a spin-up tornado that caused considerable damage to the square of the town area. Well, down towards Hines Street, maybe a little bit with some wind and rain, but nothing really jumps out like that area up to the north as you work your way through Elkmont right now for the area that may have the highest chance of hitting some kind of possible spin-up or some kind of tornado activity. Zoom out and look at this large area now. I mean, not only do you have a tornado warning that includes the Huntsville area up into Tennessee, Decatur, you're getting hit very hard right now. Heavy rain, gusty winds, and you are still under that tornado warning. The severe thunderstorm warning now goes all the way to the radar side.
Yeah, I would be watching this very closely if you're near Ardmore, really anywhere right on the state line right there. It looks like it's spinning like a top right there for sure.
You know, this wall
Right there. Anywhere near Hazel Green or just north of Hazel Green right there, right where the Shell gas station is up there with the Magic Mile where everybody goes to get their lottery tickets up there. I would be anywhere in that area. That's where I would be watching and be very, very mindful and go to your place of safety like now.
And certainly the heavy rainfall, and we already have potentially
just after midnight here on your now Sunday morning. I've got the camera on indicator actually, and this is actually an improvement of what it just looked like about 30 seconds ago. Look at the frequency of the lightning, a lot of wind with this, but the rain is just coming down in sheets, and that's all associated with this line of storms, obviously, that's now pushing through the Decatur metro area. The Athens camera is the one right along 65. See if I can find it for you. And we've got Highway 72 here as well. Not sure if that will show anything. Again, this is no, things on that camera look okay. Here's Athens right now on I-65. This is what we're talking about. Very poor visibility, and if you look closely at the parking lot of the hotel there, you can see the rain is just blowing straight sideways. So this is what we continue to keep our eye on. Multiple areas of rotation. I mentioned that funnel cloud being reported by spotters. That's in the Elmont area. That means it's coming closer to you out in parts of Ardmore. Just zooming in, giving it that closer look, and then I'll go over to velocity here. So this is going to be heading toward you in Ardmore, as well as Madison Crossroads, now getting closer to Alabama 53, you know, the one that you take to I-65 there when you're heading out of Madison County. But this is going to be very, very strong winds. Now moving east of 127. This is going to be parts of northern Athens there, northern Limestone County. And there's kind of a second area of rotation and not showing up as cleanly on the radar there between Decatur and Mooresville, and now we'll start talking downstream places like Triana, Madison, and eventually the Huntsville metro area, especially areas up toward Meridianville, for example. You guys are all in line to see this line of very strong wind come your way. Watching for the rotation, I think that funnel cloud being reported, potentially a wall cloud with that. I think I saw that in another report. That's going to be in parts of northern Limestone County, near that Elmont area. It's been a little bit. Just going back to your storm track so you guys can plan accordingly. If you're up there in Lincoln County, Fayetteville, for example, you guys are now in this extended tornado warning. And just tracking just this big line of storms. Goes all the way down I-65. It's crossing over 65 basically as we speak, and I showed you that on the Athens camera. Here's that storm timeline. I'll leave that up for about another 15 seconds or so, but Ardmore, this is basically on top of you. That's where we're probably seeing the most concern as far as that rotation. Also Priceville, 1214, Madison, 1219, Fayetteville, 1224, Huntsville, just before 1230, Newmarket, you've got 1235, Owens Crossroads, 1238, New Hope, and then as well as Princeton, too. So a big wall of wind, frequent cloud ground lightning, 60-plus mile-per-hour winds. People are losing power when this line moves through, and the same may happen to you, so have that flashlight close by and see if you can charge that device really quickly in case you do lose power here momentarily.
Eric, I'm going to piggyback off what you're saying with some of the winds, right? So what I did was I brought back the velocity again, and I'm just going to try to pinpoint a few locations. And I was doing this off camera just moments ago, and I think the concern here is whether or not there are spin-up tornadoes or not, it doesn't matter right now. I mean, these winds, if they're making, if we're making it to the ground with this is causing tremendous damage right now. So this is what some of the elevated winds are right now. So we take the storm velocity, right? I just punched in an 84 and a 91 in the Hartsville area, Priceville area. I don't think it's quite that strong at the surface, but if any of this is reaching the ground, even just a little bit less than what I just touched here with some of these numbers, that's causing some damage. And whether it matter if you're in Hartsville, if you're in Priceville, if you're in Decatur, if you're in Tanner, if you're in Athens up 31, or the Ardmore twins I call it, whether you're in Alabama or Tennessee Ardmore, everybody's getting the same kind of hit right here with these winds. And that's what's continuing to move east. In fact, this particular part of the cell here, go back to the radar for just a moment. So I want to show you this. It's kind of crazy how it almost knows 565 is a highway. But this area right here, this will track right along 565 moving to Huntsville. And then the northern flank of this, where we have some stronger winds, heavy rain, and possible funnel cloud that we saw confirmed weather, with the winds and the rain, and even got potential for a few spin-up tornadoes that we're continuing to track here after midnight there.
Yeah, crossing right over I-65 as we speak. This is going to be toward you in the Mooresville area. Now the town of Madison there, far western Madison County. You've got Harvest, Monrovia, all in the mix, up to Meridianville, Mooresville, including the Huntsville metro area, at least northern Huntsville. As far as that tornado warning goes, all of us experiencing that threat for very strong wind too. The reports of wind gusts there, I think at Decatur, that would be Pryor Field. I think they were about 50-ish miles per hour too. If you are in Lawrence County, we haven't really been clearing counties just because this line is moving so fast. But that warning, the tornado warning for Lawrence County is going to be dropped here in 2 minutes. But worst of the wind now pushing through Decatur, and we're focusing really on parts of far western Madison County, including you in the town of Madison, or city of Madison, rather. Athens, seeing very strong winds and still have that little surge showing up here. This is going to be moving right through Ardmore in both Tennessee and Alabama, heading toward
I know you're probably watching the weather, but that tornado, the tornado warning near Elmont, that's not the one that I'm targeting. I would watch that. I would probably go ahead and get y'all safe place, because there's a like going north of 65, like 565, there's a strengthening rotation, and it's right towards the city. So I'm literally using a car to the top of Chapman Mountain and watching the middle. So that's where I'm going. So I would, those people will wait to pay up or see what it does for the next couple of seasons, but I would definitely keep an eye on it. No, it's coming. It's strong, man. We've got about 65, 70 mile per hour winds. Alright, I'll clear it back.
I've been keeping an eye on the debris here. I don't think that little spot here near 251, that's not showing up clean enough that I would think that we potentially have a confirmed tornado with that. I don't think that's the case, but definitely that's been an area of concern. Right on top of 251 right now, about to cross over Alabama 53, moving into extreme northeast of Limestone County and extreme northwest of Madison County. This is moving right along the state line, east of you in Ardmore too. Jeff, that would be something to look at right now with the shear tool in that area that I'm zoomed in on. Right south of Ardmore and just east of Elmont too, crossing over I-65. I think this is definitely right now the most concerning part of that line as it's moving in, and then eventually this is going to head toward Harvest, Madison Crossroads, farther to the east on 231 out to Hazel Green too. But this is this area right here where we had in the form of a funnel cloud potentially. I'm gonna go ahead and say anybody in the city of Huntsville, go ahead and get in your safe spot. I know the people on local television are talking about the storm that is to the north, that is headed towards Elmont and Hazel Green. There is a strengthening circulation that is just to the east of Tanner right now that's actually going to be coming towards the city of Madison, that may be on the ground very soon, that they're not talking about. They're not talking about it, but I'm watching it right now, and it's a very, very tight couplet just to the west of the city of Huntsville. I would not be surprised at all if there's a quick tornado with that coming. I mean, it's right over. It's going to be in the city of Madison in the next 30 seconds. It's in between. So the main circulation that I'm watching is actually just south of Highway 72 and north of 565. So County Line Road, that area right there, that's what I'm looking at. And you notice I'm not up in Elmont. I think this is the best rotation that there is.
Residents in the area, first responders are searching through as multiple trees are on houses there, and it's very upsetting to see these damaging winds continuing to move across the area, causing extensive damage. But let's zoom in here for a minute, okay? This is the Harvest area, Tony area, and the Ardmore area. This is where we probably have some kind of rotation, and keep in mind, we've been tracking the rainfall, the wind, and we've had these little embedded possible spin-ups, but now starting to see some more of the the Ardmore area. We'll continue to track this area as we build west to east. For reference, this is Pulaski Pike here, comes up and takes a left here. Carter Grove Road, and this is Scott Road. Charity Lane runs east-west, know that area very well. Coggins Road, Highway 53, right along 53. This is all moving to the east of the state line, and this will be the area I think where we have maybe the highest concern area of some kind of rotation taking place. I know that there's a tornado warning south, but it doesn't quite look nearly as defined as some of this here.
Bullshit, fool.
And actually, Jeff, if you want to stroll just a little bit to the north there, go over the state line. This is going to be west of you in Bellevue, kind of that Elliott Road area out toward the Blanche area. I think if you just look at the velocity, just click over on the velocity there, you can kind of see what I'm referencing. It just shows up a little nicer. And there, just east of Ardmore, I think something could potentially be happening in that area. So if you're in Taft, heads up, this is coming your way. I'm going to go to the south here in a second. I just really wanted to highlight that, showing that kind of that area where, based on the reflectivity, the velocity, this is east of Elkton heading toward you in Bellevue. And just give you that closer look here. You've got Taft, you've got Cache Point, Coldwater, Yukon, and then out to Bellevue too, in that Molino area, and then potentially all the way up to you in Fayetteville. This moving very fast. Put a quick storm track on this to show you that area that's popping up right now. This is from Lincoln County in Tennessee. A lot of those towns I just mentioned, including Bellevue, 1231. This is your time to seek shelter now. Fayetteville, 1234. You've got Flintville, 1241, and Smithland there, 1243. Now, the other side of things, the southern part of this line, going back to reflectivity, I'm going to go farther south now. Strongest wind crossing over now into parts of western Madison County, including the town or city of Madison. And then we're still talking about areas east of you in Decatur and going to track right along 565. I've got our cameras pulled up. I've been turning them all to the west. If you are in Athens, you guys are okay to come from your safe space. Ardmore, I'd give it a few more minutes, but everything continues to just show a lot of heavy rain and a wall of wind surging through. Looking at the big picture here, now look at this severe thunderstorm warning. It goes all the way down into parts of Coleman County, 60 plus mile per hour winds, including Jasper, probably all the way down to the Birmingham metro area. So this line is actually strengthening. We thought this more significant severe weather threat was going to be to our west earlier this evening in parts of Mississippi. They saw nasty weather, but this line is really now starting to ramp up. We've got temperatures in the 60s and 70s. We've got a dew point in the 60s, and that's all it takes. Big concentration of lightning now. So if you are in Madison, I would seek shelter with this now. You are under a tornado warning. 5 minutes ago. Huntsville too. This is all coming your way. Now looking at the velocity, I think we've got just a ton of wind right now. Approaching Madison, moving through Big City eventually, and then eventually downtown Huntsville. Jeff, looking at the 565 camera westbound from the 7800 building there, things are really starting to shake a lot too. So if you're under a warning, avoid windows, lowest room, interior part of your home, and just a lot going on with this line.
Yeah, we were tracking the storm for a while ago, parallel 65, causing a bump in the Rogersville area, also killing the Anderson Western, and then down to the Florida. And now that line is moving to the east, and now it's parallel to the Parkway right now. And if you're in the Madison area, Herc just talked about the camera on 565. If you're in the Huntsville, we can start to hear the rain in the booth here. Not terribly, but still on our doorstep here. And this extends all the way back up to Tony, Hazel Green, and then you follow all the way up to Fayetteville and also into Park City. And don't forget, if you are south of this tornado warning, where you see this red box, you're still in a severe thunderstorm warning. It's not like because the tornado warning stops, the damaging winds stop. There's still a wall of wind and rain here in the Hartsville-Priceville area. That is moving into the eastern zone. So if you live in Eva or if you live in Somerville, right along 36, Dollar-Moso Springs, all that is moving off to the east and will be in your backyard here shortly as the line is moving about 55 miles per hour across the area. In fact, I'm going to zoom out. Let me get a little bit of a timeline here for you because I think it's important. Now, I know that if you're watching at home and if you're in areas east and you're like, I haven't had a drop of rain yet, nothing happening. Well, that's because it's not there yet. So we're going to continue to track this as it continues to move off to the east, not at 85 miles an hour, but let's go more like a 57 or 59 or 58. There you go. And that gets you some of your times right there for you. Focusing on areas to the north where we have this tornado warning. It's starting to move into areas across the state line into the Huntland area by 1228, moving away from Decatur now, but moving closer to Madison, and that will be closer to you here shortly. It's on your doorstep if it's not already there. Moving into Huntsville shortly
I know
as
it's
well.
going to happen.
New Hope about 1230, Union Grove 1231. That would include the Morgan City area, and then eventually crossing Chapel Mountain over to Woodville by 1235, which is approximately 13 minutes away. So pretty fast moving system.
On the south side, I'm right here.
Oklahoma, Chester, moving into areas of Franklin County, Tennessee, and all areas on this line of the east that you're receiving this line is very strong. With a tornado in the warring area, doesn't include Madison County, northeastern Limestone County, northeastern Tennessee, just including absolutely Fayetteville at this time.
And speaking of parts of Tennessee, northern Lincoln County right now, Petersburg in particular, you'd be in your safe spot. A new tornado warning has just been issued, including northern Lincoln County. This is parts of Moore County, including you in Lynchburg, and also I think it goes into parts of Franklin
Northern
County
side of
too.
it, see if it comes
So
through.
then we're talking about Middle Tennessee right now. It's this area right over Petersburg where you see kind of this small notch forming. Here's 431. You've got Howell, Bidwell, Petersburg. This is going to go right towards you in Mount Herman and tracking 231 to the south.
Gotta get elevation.
Keep an eye on my on your screen right now, but basically no visibility past the heavy rain and starting to move in. So moving into parts of southern Lincoln County, Fayetteville, Mulberry, Clintonville, and Philadelphia again need to be in your safe spot. This is the area that has been a big surge of wind coming with this. And this is, I think, that same area right here that had a funnel cloud
coming right towards
earlier when it's coming out of Elkmont and moving towards you in Ardmore. So very strong wind. Parts of northern Madison County, Hazel Green. I would be in that safe spot too. Lowest level into your room away from windows. And then moving through Madison, very, very strong winds with this. Continue to track west and east along 565 and the city. And eventually the Huntsville area was rain, thunder, and lightning. And then farther south, you saw the line. You're in Coleman County right now. With line coming down to the worst of it behind you, Spring Hill, Union, out in Hansville. That's that wall of wind moving in. Not so much so potential location. It's mainly on the northern end of this. And there's two areas. One is right here, basically, Harlan Monrovian area, along 53, and then that area up by Petersburg in Middle Tennessee, and the area right between Fayetteville and Gainesville. I cannot say with any certainty that we had a confirmed tornado reported. And reports of funnel clouds and storm spotters with that Elkmont system too. But this is going to go over 231 here shortly. At the very least, I think we're talking 50 plus miles per hour winds.
Right,
A lot of lightning and torrential rainfall right there. That's why right there, some of the worst winds are in there saying, can't confirm it. The National Weather Service is too, issuing a tornado warning. But one thing that's really odd about this line, to take you away from the tornado threat and the wind threat, just is 95 strikes of lightning up and down this. And that's not really all that impressive in your head, you think, right? But for a February line of storms, little QLC moving through the area, that's a lot of
Power flash right there.
this time of year. You don't see that very often, and that just goes to indicate how.
All right, guys, we're looking west now. This is pointed towards west of Huntsville.
From north to south on this. So here's where we're tracking right now, probably the strongest winds This is in the Fayetteville area, Shelbyville area. This is down through Park City. This will continue into the Parkway, and this is also into areas like New Market, Hazel Green. If you're watching in the Tony area, concern there for not only some strong winds and heavy rainfall, but the potential for some spin-up tornadoes there. This now extends into Huntsville. If you live in northwest Huntsville, if you live on Maston Lake, or if you're driving over to Jordan Lane, or maybe you're headed over towards areas like portions of, if you're driving like to areas just to the east of 53, mainly towards parts of Bob Wade, for instance, you may pick up a little bit in the way of some gusty winds and some heavy rainfall. That extends down into Madison on 565, and I'm sure it's rocking at the airport right now with some very heavy rainfall and some gusty winds as this line continues to move west to east. And most locations right now are going to deal with some kind of adversity with severe weather here, but it's just a matter of how many of those little spin-up tornadoes that are possible.
Somebody make that right here. And I'm looking to the north to see it pulling in something. See if there's anything in there. Don't see anything. Alright, that's enough to get us going at least. Holy shit.
consistent area right there over Mooresville, and that's pushing off to the east. And I'm guessing this tornado warning probably goes until about 1:15 if I were to guess.
Yeah, Eric, they usually extend even back down into another area of more of the range across the area. But Eric was talking about the shear rate. This is what we've been looking at all night long, right? So this shear rate is something that we track that indicates where we could have some rotation taking place. There's a lot of different usage of tools that we have, right? But this one right here, anytime you have this redder color, the shear rate looks strong, and that is mainly on the north side. So here's the home right here, here's Fayetteville. This has got some rotation here as you look towards the south. Then you pick it back up again. We talked about it in the market area. You get closer to the high top radar set, right? You get a bit more accurate idea of what's happening with the possibility of rotation. You get closer to the radar, it makes sense, right? Obviously, if you're closer to something, you're going to get a better view of it. If you're farther away, you're not going to have a better view. So look at what we have here. This is a little area just to the left of the pipeline. And as I was trying to compare right now, I was really exposing color right now into my safe place inside. And that extends down to the market area. So even on the back side of where the field is, I would imagine that we're really strong. Eventually down the market area. So you really but as you look, it's a little bit of a punch to a more than more mill. sitting next to it, too, right? As this line continues, you start to encounter some of this high elevation in the Princeton area. You squeeze out a little bit more. Some of that back the area is huge. That's something that we've been tracking. Already had oil location with the lead across the area already confirmed with a few funnel cloud sightings, but overall, I mean, this is a long line that continues to bring heavy rain and wind. Most of the area right now, when it goes south, it loses the shield. But you still pick up a lot of that rain. But you're right now, absolutely 50 ounces of rain. Outside of our proper viewing area, if you will, but I know a lot of you folks up there are paying attention to that. And then also if you're in Winchester now, new tornado warning for you, including Moore and Franklin County, Winchester, and it's going to be for this area right here, north of Flintville, here 64, tracking in this direction out to Estill Springs, including Tullahoma and Winchester, eventually out to Sewanee and Pelham too. So this is really ramping up on the northern side of things. I don't really like the look of what's here west of you in Winchester. Here's 64, and you've got Flintville. It's that area, and that looks a bit concerning, as well as what's about to move through the Tullahoma area. So for our streaming audience, if you're up there in Moore and Franklin County, I would be seeking shelter for that too. Going down to the southern side of things, I think we just have that big surge of wind, Jeff, there east and southeast now of Mooresville. This has crossed over Chapman Mountain. It's going to stay north of 72 there, but this is now going to start to move into parts of Jackson County. The farther east we go, the more topography we start getting into. You know, as soon as you cross over basically into Jackson County, now we're dealing with a lot of the ups and downs too. We have not done the best job clearing people. If you live along and east of I-65, with the exception being some of you in Coleman County, you guys are okay. Come out of your safe spaces. The severe threat has passed for you. Now just focusing on that leading edge, that line. But just going back to that radar signature, Jeff, that we have here, I don't like when we see that break forming now kind of southeast of Newmarket heading toward Princeton too. So we'll really have to keep just a close eye on what's happening here. This is going to be just north of you in Gurley and then heading toward Princeton and eventually High Top. This is northwestern Jackson County where you see that arrow, as well as Skyline down to Pleasant Groves too. But that area showing up right now with that strongest wind threat, that's going to be something to watch closely here. Yeah, and Eric, let me get you down to street level. So where you were talking about, 4 reference points: New Market, obviously, Winchester Road. We just talked about Winchester Road, Jack's Road, and then this is Hurricane Road. This hooks up to Ray Road, and I know that area that ends up in a dead end area. But this area right here would be the area of concern as you work your way south. County Lake Road. This is just east of Maysville Road, which is parallel to Winchester Road. This is where you have an opportunity for a little bit more in the way of some rotation, as Eric was mentioning. You're going to lift up to the north, Sharps Cove Road, and also as you work your way out towards County Road 4. This is all some heavy rainfall and also the potential for some kind of rotation. Maysville Road, mainly south of County Lake Road, is okay right now, but I would think that areas to the east would be a concern, and this is the one area that Eric was just showing you, and you know, it has that rotation potential there by just eyeballing it on the radar itself. Here's Gurley Pike and down towards area south. This is probably more in the way of just heavy rainfall and wind for you, mainly north of 72, but you got to keep an eye out for a little bit of rotation here for areas like County Road 10, County Road 1, and if you're driving up Alabama Highway 65, and speaking of Alabama Highway 65, while we're watching tornadoes and severe weather, an area that has been hit with some very heavy rain, Paint Rock area, and continuing to add more rain to a concern of where we had flooding earlier this week. So there's so many different elements that we're tracking. It's not just the rainfall, it's not just the wind, it's not just the tornadoes, it's the combination of everything.
All right, I'm not seeing much right now. If I were, my biggest concern is you heard him talking on the radio, so the good thing is the storm right now is pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. There are mountains, there are trees, there are deer, and that's about it. There's not much population headed to the radar. If it does continue, though, it would be heading into Chattanooga, which is a very populated area, obviously. I don't see any areas of extreme rotation right now. Just if you can see where I am, well, really just to the southeast of New Market, still got some rotation there, but it's not very strong. I would almost guarantee that there were a few tornadoes in Madison County within probably the past hour. They were quick, but I would guarantee you that there were a couple.
People, if you're in Huntsville and areas to the west of that, including Madison, you guys can come out of your safe spaces. Your severe weather threat has passed. Some lingering heavy rainfall and lightning, but no threat of those damaging wind gusts. But just big, severe thunderstorm warning.
Winchester, I would watch that storm as well.
The state line now between northeast Alabama, Sand Mountain, into northwest Georgia. We still have the active tornado warning ongoing, but if you're on this timeline,
the city of Huntsville, you're clear.
Of those winds that are likely 50 to 60 plus miles per hour. I got a report from my wife and my in-laws. They're at my house. They said the power was flickering a lot as this wind was moving in. I'm actually surprised we don't have more reports of power outages. Those usually start to trickle in pretty quickly. I know a lot of people in northwest Alabama ended up losing power, but now we're focusing on that big surge of wind. Now with how fast this is moving through, this threat is going to ramp up pretty early. I would say at this current pace, if you look at Rainsville there, that's 120. I would certainly say by maybe 1:45, 2 a.m., the threat for severe storms will be over. So I know a lot of you have been watching our coverage now, and for several hours we've been going at this here, tracking that threat for widespread wind damage. We still have a tornado watch in effect through 4 a.m., but those counties will start to be shaped from west to east as that severe weather threat is starting to wrap up. But that's your latest timeline. Jeff doing a great job.
Kimberly, I'm in Hazel Green and watching you take that curve off the parkway gave me more anxiety than the storm.
Right now.
Yeah, I know.
As we get closer to the radar, it doesn't look as concerning as it did. I'm not saying there's not a lot of wind there now east of New Market along the county line between Madison and Jackson County. I'm just saying it doesn't have that same signal that it was giving off just about 10 to 15 minutes ago. Jeff?
Yeah, that's a big improvement, that scan. I mean, I think from where we were just 10 minutes ago, seeing what you just saw there, probably lessening maybe the spin or the rotation or any kind of tornado activity. But Eric mentioned, still gusty winds. don't drop the ball on that. There's still tremendous amounts of wind along this line, and that's why the whole entire
Watch those antlers. Yeah, that's right.
area, a little like a
Oh man,
with all the warnings
what a
that we
day.
have.
That was
Down in
unexpected.
Guntersville, I imagine some very heavy rain and gusty winds moving into your area, pulling away from Coleman now and moving into the Holly Pond area, and Adiana getting some heavy rainfall. And I saw
Okay.
reports from National Weather
I think we are pretty much done as far as streaming goes. There are no roads, unfortunately, that can get us east. This is kind of a dead end area. Like I said, there's literally nothing to the east. There's nothing. There's trees and hills and mountains. There's a reason why they call it high top radar. It's way up there.
also the potential for some tornadoes. The warnings in the red, that is continuing to blink right across where the high
Still tornado warning. Does not include the city of Scottsboro,
state line.
Skyline, Stevenson, down the road, Sherwood, South Pittsburgh. I would watch that all the way over to Chattanooga. It looks like these storms are probably going to hold on for a little while longer. I wouldn't expect too much longer.
County, west of Scottsboro, you get to the Woodville area.
Extremely extremely strong wind with this as well. Very, very strong wind. That's why my wife called me. She's like, "Hey, do I need to go wake up Ava?" No, you're not in a tornado. It's just extremely, extremely strong wind.
We'll get the timeline for you.
Yeah. So, all right. This time I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna go get some food because I haven't eaten. I haven't eaten it all today. I just thought about that. No, I did eat. I had some Hunt Brothers pizza. But yeah, it's headed into a really rural area. Watch that. I would watch that area that's down near Sneed. That area is kind of interesting right now, west of Gadsden. But everywhere, you know, the city of Huntsville, Coleman, you know, Coleman, all that area to the west is fine. Just really northeast Alabama is what I'm watching, and really just eastern. If you're west of 65, you're fine. East of 65, you're not fine, as far as North Alabama goes.
They are starting to shade these warnings.
North of Aniana looks interesting. Nothing too much there yet. But I'm going to go ahead and end my stream. I'll still be streaming on Ryan Hall for just a little bit longer, not much. I think he's still streaming. But thank you guys for hopping on. I know we got a lot of people from Alabama, so you guys have a good rest of the night. Go back to sleep if you're not in the threat area anymore. If you're safe, go ahead and go back to sleep. You're good if you're west of 65. So you guys have a good rest of the night. I'm going to go get some food, and I'm going to pass out for the next 48 hours. See you guys. Y'all have a good one.
I think the severe weather threat will be wrapping up. So that is the northern part of this line of storms. Getting a power outage report there in Trenton. That's from the Trenton Fire Department. All right, into Jackson County.
You bet, guys. I just saw your message, Blake. You bet. Anything I can do to help, you guys.
You are okay to come out. So if you live west of this line, severe weather threat has ended for you. And now just look at the big blanket severe thunderstorm warnings that we have. Now all the way down into Gadsden, including all of you in